Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Football Manager 2018 with Zebu Nation. This is Wings of Glory starring LAFC, and today we have for you the three-quarter season update. There's a lot going on, there's a lot to talk about, so let's get right into it. Competitions, we are back again. This is not looking good. 10th place in the Western Conference currently. After 25 games, we got 7 wins, 8 draws, 10 losses. -2 goal differential, a total of 29 points. Not happy about what's happened since last time we met. Supporters Shield, we're down here at 18th place. Now, the good news is there's a big log jam here in the middle, so we could definitely work our way up. But with only 1/4 of the season left to go, the time is now. And I'm feeling a whole lot of deja vu from last season. So let's check out the schedule and see how we got to this point. So last time we met, last video, saw the 3-0 debacle, the shocking defeat to 3rd division Oklahoma City. It was just a terrible game. I'm sorry you had to watch it. But I thought it was just going to be an anomaly because we were on really good form. We were undefeated in our last 5 games, 4 wins, 1 draw before that. And then that game just kind of came out of nowhere. I thought, okay, it's a bump in the road. We'll get past it and get back to our good form. But that did not happen. A series of events occurred. You know, we had some injuries. We, of course, had international events go on, which took several of our players off the team. You know, let's face it, most of our most talented players go out on international all the time, and this is the time of year when it happens, and unfortunately, the rest of the team just couldn't pick up the slack. We went on a winless streak, a terrible, horrible winless streak of 7 games. We had 4 draws, 3 losses following that Oklahoma City loss. And that really just saw us drop down the table, just, really take a nosedive. So that's no good. Didn't like it. However, there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel here. We just came off a 3-0 victory of San Jose. And it was really a revelation what happened. And before we get to that game, we're going to have to talk about how we got there. And in order to do that, we're going to have to run down the checklist real quick. So we'll start with the academy. As always, nothing happening with the academy. Everybody is still where they're at. It's fine. Finances, fine as always. $8 million transfer budget, $19 million payroll, still got $10 million left. Everything is fine. Board, ooh, not so good. Insecure, as you can guess, when you go on a slide like that, when you're supposed to finish in the playoffs and suddenly you're in 10th place, board is not going to be too happy. So we are insecure at 43%. I told you that MLS, they don't have a whole lot of loyalty. So just, 1 or 2 bad stretches and you can be out no matter what happens. Like just this year in the real MLS, Seattle parted ways with their coach. No, Portland. What am I thinking? Seattle was just in the MLS Cup. Portland parted ways with their coach, who had been, one of their winningest coaches ever. So, I mean, there was questions whether he left or they, pushed him out or whatever, but still, loyalty is to the franchise and not necessarily to the coaches. So we've got to deal with that. Board confidence here. They still like our transfers. They like our leadership support and locker room atmosphere. But basically, it all comes down to competitions. They're not happy with the competitions. Only 35%. The fans are a little upset as well, I think. Yeah, the board is disappointed with their overall performance across the various competitions. So that's no good. All right, but that's not really what we're here to talk about. Club, fine. What we're here to talk about are transfers and what happened recently. We made a couple of trades. Let's go transfer history. Not transfers, trades. There we go. So we brought in a couple of players because we just were not scoring goals. Not at all. Look at the schedule. You noticed 0 goals, 1 goal, 2 goals. Look at that. We scored 2 goals against NYFC. 1 goal, 1 goal, 0 goal, 1 goal. We just are not producing any offense. Now, we had left it up to Rodrigo to be our main striker, and he was just not doing it. You know, Vela was out on international, Hamilton was out on international, but even those guys, when we were in our big winning streak, we weren't really scoring a lot of goals then either. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to go back to my roots. I'm going to go and find, any young American striker that we have in our database. I only searched our database. I said, give me a young American striker with 15 or more finishing. And I found these 2 guys. Whoops, not those 2 guys. These 2 guys up here. First, we went with Scott Wilson. We got him for a 3rd round pick from Seattle. And, to be honest with you, Scott Wilson is a 3rd round pick kind of guy. He is only 19 years old, though, which is pretty good. 16 finishing, which is why we went out and got him. He's got some flair, off the ball, composure, so this guy can score goals. He's only rated as 2 stars. He doesn't have much more potential than what you see right now, but he's got the stats where it counts. He's got a little bit of pace, a whole lot of acceleration, so he can play that poacher role, that advanced forward role. He can go forward, get the ball, and score goals. 16 finishing, 14 composure, 15 flair. This kid can score goals. No question about that. He's only 19 years old, too. That's pretty amazing. But the real bargain here, the real guy who's going to give us some hope, is Sam Harding, a fellow we got from Atlanta United. He came, as I learned earlier, well, first of all, we got him for a 2nd round pick, which I thought, do I really want to spend a 2nd round pick on this guy? Because my scouts had only scouted him out to be like a 2-star guy, pretty similar to Scott Wilson. I considered going with just Scott Wilson and say, well, we don't need 2 strikers, we just need 1. But I figured, you know what, we're going to take a shotgun approach, and we're just going to bring them both in, and hopefully one of them will be good. And I'm glad I did, because Sam Harding is an outstanding player. He's also 19 years old, 2.5-star player currently, but his potential ability is 4 stars, possibly even 5 stars. We got this guy for a 2nd round pick, which I thought was high, but it turns out this guy's a 1st round pick. And not only is he a 1st round pick, if he was in the MLS Super Draft this season, he would be number 1 overall pick. No questions asked when you look at this kid. He's got the youth, only 19 years old. Most MLS players, most MLS Super Draft kids are 21, 22, 23, that kind of age. So to get a guy like this at 19 years old is just extra value. And then you look at his physicals, 15 pace, 17 fitness, 16 acceleration. That's outstanding. His mentals are off the chart. 18 determination, teamwork, aggression, work rate. And then you add to that 15 finishing, first touch, free kick taking. This kid is amazing, outstanding. So I was wondering, where did he come from? This is a 1st round pick. How did I get this guy? Because I didn't trade for him. I traded for his rights. He was over here playing in the Seacoast United Phantoms, which is an amateur team. Basically, like the equivalent of a local developmental team or even a college team. Now, obviously, he's not a college team, because if he was a college team, he would be an amateur player, but he wasn't an amateur player because I was able to get his rights. And that's because he came from the Atlanta United Academy, which is pretty crazy. They let him go on a free transfer in 2017. They just said, we can't use this kid. He's amazing, I guess. Maybe their scouts are pretty bad, because their scouts just let him go. And he was signed on a free transfer to the Seacoast United Phantoms, whomever that is. That's just like a made-up team. I don't think that's even a real team. But that shows you a little quirk in MLS. Even though he was released by Atlanta on a free, you would think, well, then you can pick him up, right? No. As I mentioned before, kids who come through your academy, you own their rights forever. Until eternity, no other MLS team can sign them unless they trade for their MLS rights. And that's what I had to do. That's why I had to give Atlanta a second-round pick for the opportunity to sign this kid. I didn't even get him. I just got his MLS rights. So that's how that worked out. So sometimes if you see a young guy who you can't sign, you say, why can't I sign this guy? He's a free agent. Check and see who his MLS rights are owned by and make a trade with that team. And that's what I was able to do. So we got Sam Harding, and we'll go back to the schedule now, to that game versus San Jose, 3-0 victory. And where's Sam Harding? Here he is. 2 goals, 1 assist in that game. Let's take a look at the highlights and take a look at what Mr. Harding can do for us. I'm hoping that he can really make a difference in this season going forward, in the final quarter of the season. There's Harding dropping it back to Chavez, back to Harding, and he starts this attack to Martinez, and Martinez has been a wonder in the last couple games as well. Our #1 draft pick from last season, playing outstanding. Here's Harding again. He's playing an interesting role. He's playing a defensive forward. Gets the ball to Martinez, to Harding, finishes off. Because his skills are a little weird. He's got finishing, he's got aggression, he's got all these things, but they're not quite in the right places to make him a poacher or whatever. But here he is beating the defense to the back, using that speed, and then just easy finish. Clinical, you might say. So the fact that this kid played so well, and that wasn't even his debut. His debut was the game before against Seattle, where he also, played very well, got an assist to Vela. So in 2 games, the kid has 2 goals, 2 assists. That's pretty outstanding. That's amazing. An amazing find this late in the season. A guy we didn't have to go out and spend $1 million on to perform like that. It's outstanding. So we're going to see what he can do going forward, and we're going to see if we can win some games in the final quarter of this season and really get back on track. So we'll take one final look at our dynamics. Our dynamics were in the tubes just a couple of games ago, but they've been brought back to life thanks to that victory. So hierarchy, look at this pyramid. This is an amazing looking pyramid. We got 3 solid team leaders, bunch of highly influential players, bunch of influential players. This is like the perfect pyramid you want to see. And we've got 15 players supporting us, no players opposing us. That's outstanding. Social groups, still a little bit split up. Still got a couple of guys who aren't quite where they need to be. But you know what? It's fine. It's really good. There's no problems here. Happiness, also pretty green. We got pretty much everybody on the team is happy. Some people are concerned with, of course, training, but, no real problems. No need for a team meeting. Let's just get to the match today, and let's go. We are playing against Houston, who are 12th in the table, I believe. No, they are 8th in the table. They're 12th in the supporter shield. So they're 8th in the conference, so we need to get a win and catch up on these guys if we're going to make the playoffs. I mean, that's what our final push has to be. It has to be about making the playoffs. So we need to beat Houston today. As you can see, the West is just topsy-turvy. Sporting Kansas City and FC Dallas are now at the top. They've really separated themselves by, 2 games, 6 points over Seattle, which was at the top of the table last time we checked in. So the the Western Conference is just up and down all over the place. Eastern Conference, pretty much as it was, Orlando City and Toronto FC at the top of the table. So we're going to go back and submit our team here. And congratulations to Toronto FC, by the way. They just won the MLS Cup this afternoon. Watch that game. There's a lot of sports on today. MLS Cup was sandwiched in between a bunch of different things, but they managed to pull it out. You know, they completed the trifecta, won all 3 championships, and so that was very, very outstanding season for them. So we're going with the diamond. We got our fullbacks going forward. We're playing with the double Mazzala. I don't know if anybody's done this in the diamond formation before. I mean, not like ever, but currently in FM, how many of you are playing diamonds with double Mazzalas? It works out really good because it spreads both guys out wide and forward, and they do a lot of cool stuff like all around this outside area. These 4 boxes basically. They almost play like wingers, but they're not quite wingers. They stick to the center of the field, so it's worked out very well, honestly. And getting Martinez forward in the advanced playmaker role has worked well for him. So, you know, everything is looking pretty good for this diamond formation. In our terrible run, we had been using this formation here that Houston is using. We had been using the Burning Man formation, 4-1-2-3 DM wide, and it just was awful. Could not score any goals. So here we are. Here's the lineup we're going with. Stefan in goal. Obviously, he's been tremendous. Romney and Roa at fullback. Watts and Hector at the central defense. Been getting a lot of people coming after me trying to buy Hector. A lot of Premier League teams coming back to try and sign this guy as a reserve, I guess. But we haven't let him go. They haven't met his release clause yet. Thompson is playing defensive midfielder right now because everybody else is suspended. Not that Thompson is a bad option at defensive midfielder, but it's just he's not our first choice. Delgado and Conklin, our rookie this season, he's back in the starting lineup. He was getting a little worried about playing time, but he's back. Martinez has been outstanding for us in the last couple of games. 6 goals, 3 assists, 7.09 rating. He's been playing outstanding. And then Harding, look at this guy, 7.85 rating. We looked at this earlier. 2 appearances, 2 goals, 2 assists. If he continues this rate, he's going to be like an All-American. He's going to be an All-MLS player. All right, go out there. Give these fans their money's worth, I guess. I don't know. I think we're playing at Houston. I don't remember. The absence of Caldwell, who's our defensive midfielder, is sure to be felt. How will you be without his services? Would have been nice to have him. Whatever. Let's see. How much of a boost is Farfan's absence? I don't care. I'm focusing on us rather than them. So here we are. This looks like Houston Stadium. There's a lot of yellow. A lot of gold happening there in the stand, so I assume we're at Houston. And here we are with the first highlight of the match. We'll see how these Mazzalas play against this wide formation. We'll see how our fullbacks do. I think we're going to be okay. See, there's Conklin getting all the way over there. And there ends the first highlight, I think. Yep, but they're going to get a corner out of it. Far side, Heracles, the son of Zeus himself, sends in a lightning bolt, but here is Harding with it. He's going to look to get forward. We're on the counterattack. He drops it back to Roa. Not really what I wanted. I gotta check. There's been a disconnect between what I say in my briefings and what happens on game day. So, okay, we are counter. Mixed passes. All right. This is fine. All right. Sometimes it seems like things get reset, and I don't know why. Yeah, like we should be wider here. So, okay. I think it might be our assistant coach resetting some things when we say, like, let the assistant coach handle things. So maybe I should stop doing that, but it's just, I don't know. I don't really like the team talks the way they're set up at the moment. So I try to set them up without setting them up. I don't know. Are you happy with the team talks? I don't think anybody is, really. It's a good idea. It's just not, I don't think, implemented very well. They need to integrate it more and make it more like a tactical talk or a tactical thing where you actually set up your formation, you say this is it, and you lock it in or something like that. I don't know. Maybe you could even take feedback from the players where You could say, ask the players, ask the coaches. The coaches will say, hey, we need to go wider. Or a player says, like, I need to get forward or something like that. That would be interesting. That would be fun. Because I wonder, how do they do tactics in a real back room? Like, you would think they discuss it, have a discussion with the team, and say, hey, we need you to do this. And the player, like, gives feedback and says, I think I should, get wider or get higher or whatever. I don't know. Do they do that? You'd think they would. Here's Vela. Gets the ball to Conklin. Conklin up to Hector. Hector takes a shot. Oh, the central defender. Look at that. Number 5. I'm hoping he doesn't leave back to Europe. He hasn't been saying that he wants to go, even though we've been getting a lot of offers for him. Here's Thompson with the corner kick. Drops it to Martinez. To Vela. Vela actually playing a decent role here. Conklin, the young midfielder, gets it to Hector, and he just finishes. I mean, it's not a tremendous strike. It's not a thunderbolt, but it gets past the goalkeeper. That's all you need. So, yeah, we've been getting a lot of offers for Hector, and I'm just hoping that he stays. He's got a loyalty clause in his contract, and he seems to be fine with staying. He hasn't said he wants to go. He hasn't said I'll waive the loyalty clause or anything like that. So, I think we're looking fine with Hector. Here's Harding, the youngster, taking the free kick. I'm not sure why. I mean, I know he's got decent free kicking, but Vela is out on the field. What is this? This is tactics. That's not what I want. I want real tactics. Tactics. Here we go. It's like I haven't played this game in forever, even though I've been playing it all day. I just forgot what I'm doing here. I don't know. All right. We'll go back to the field because I don't know what I'm doing. It's like I just forgot how to play this game, and apparently I have. So we're just going to keep on with our commentary and see how things are going. Got some college basketball on the television right now in the background. Like I said, there's so many sports going on today. The Army-Navy game was earlier today. It's a college football game. If you don't know, it's pretty much a big deal. Like, the sports calendar mostly clears the calendar for the Army-Navy college football game. Except for MLS, which they decided to go up against the Army-Navy football game. Come on, people. Like, first of all, show some respect, I guess, to the Army-Navy game. I mean, you don't have to. I'm not telling you what to do. But everybody else on the sports calendar clears the way for the Army-Navy game. And MLS decided to go right up against them. It's basically, oh boy, here's a goal from Torres. They get one back. Houston scores. Eric Torres, this guy has been a thorn in our side for several seasons. I mean, not just in this save, but previously we were FC Dallas, and so I got sort of hard feelings toward Torres. But anyway, Alexander gets the rebound, plays it to Eder. I don't know that character, and there's Torres with a great finish. He managed to beat Stefan, but Stefan has been on fire lately. He's been standing on his head. Even during our losing streak, he kept those games to where they were. All right, here's Watts with the free kick. That's more like it. Although it's still not Vela, so I don't know what's happening. And I forgot how to change it. What are these buttons? What are all these buttons? I don't know. Tactics. It's halftime. Maybe we can check it out during halftime. Tactics. Tactics. There we go. This is where it is. Set piece takers. We don't have anybody set up, apparently. All right, free kicks. And we got Martinez, Vela. We got lots of guys who could be taking. I don't know why Harding took that. But anyway, free kicks. Martinez, Vela on the left. I guess we'll put Harding in there. Thompson. I mean, we got lots of guys who could take free kicks. Corners. Thompson. Roa. That's fine. All right. Throw-ins. I mean, you don't need to see this, but I'm showing you anyway. Not Hector. We want Roa on the right. And we want Romney on the left. I usually have my fullbacks throw in the ball. They usually have the best throw-ins for some reason. I mean, maybe because everybody has their fullbacks throw the ball in. That would make sense. But I don't want like a central defender throwing it in or a striker or somebody like that. I really would like fullbacks or wingers throwing the ball in. Anyway, despite our lead, We struggled to control possession. So we've been on the counter-attack. And maybe that's not what we should be doing, because this is definitely the sporadic counter-attack pattern. And they are going down the right-hand side heavily. So maybe we do need to control the ball against these guys and retain possession. We'll see what that does for us. All right, Manados is getting too much space. Look at this guy. This is who they're getting the ball to, obviously. He's just throwing the ball in from this right corner. All right. Midfield is being outnumbered. It always says this for the diamond formation. No matter what you do, no matter how well you're playing, you can be up 3-0 and they'll say, hey, our midfield is being outnumbered. It's just how it is with the diamond. Delgado has been booked. We definitely don't want another yellow card. We're getting so many people suspended and yellow cards. It's no good. All right, so let's go back to the tactics. Let's go, I guess, control. And we'll go a little bit flexible with our team instructions and see if we can do a little better. Let's start the second half. Because we had almost no highlights. We had the one goal on either side, and then there was no highlights. So it was obviously not a lot of good stuff happening. All right, here's Watts. Oh, this is the first highlight. I almost got stuck with calling the first highlight again. And there it goes. It ends. All right. Now let's get to a real highlight. Let's control the ball. See if we can matriculate the ball down the field and get a nice goal. We might want to set Vela to a poacher role. Right now he's advanced forward. That's not what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Now, he's most familiar with the Trequartista role, but that just doesn't work out very well, so we're going to set him to poacher. See what happens. See what's up. See if we can get these guys involved. Harding, not playing so well in his third game. Only a 6.3 rating. Delgado with the yellow card, but he's got a 6.7 rating. There's not a lot of high ratings going on here other than Hector, who got that goal and is obviously, I guess, playing well defensively to boot. But, you know, Houston is in the same boat here. They got pretty mediocre ratings themselves. And it looks like the game is just stagnated. 60 minutes in, no highlights to speak of. Romney playing awful, but I don't know that we got anybody who can play out there. We could bring in Michael Friedland, 18-year-old tackling machine. Only 6 jumping reach. I don't really want to do that. We could move Watts down to the left. Bring Hector, and then bring Haglund in off the bench. That might not be the worst thing in the world. Put our 3 best defenders out there with Roa. Roa going forward. All right. We'll give that a shot. I mean, we might want to get Delgado's yellow card out of there, but he's looking motivated. Okay, here we go. Corner kick. Heracles gets headed out. Elder, nope, it's booted downfield. Let's see if we can get the counterattack. Harding can't get it, but somebody's going to reach it and blast it downfield. Harding has it, looking to make a play. Drops it back to Vela. He's got a man wide open. Roa down the far side. Can he get past the defense? He does. He sends it in, but nobody makes the run, fortunately. It was a nice counterattack, but didn't really get the shot at the end that we would have liked. Now here's Houston. Looks like they're controlling the ball as well. Not a great first touch by Adair, but he doesn't lose possession. Here's Rogers now. Looks like Houston's got a lot of yellow cards themselves. Torres to Adair. Gets it forward to Rogers with the shot. Oof. He planks that one off the post. That was a pretty dangerous shot. Just off by, the width of the post. Here we go. Jose Fonte. I didn't quite read that last name, but his first name was definitely Jose. Here's Alexander with it for Houston. I don't know where he's going. He's just dribbling wide. Maybe we should put some more pressure on these guys. Conklin, it would have been nice to go after that, but he did not. There's Haglund. Haglund wins it and then gets tripped, but no call. Adair shoots it wide. All right, here's another highlight. Stefan, the highlights are now coming back to back after, 70 minutes of nothing. Suddenly we got a bunch of highlights, and they appear to be all for Houston. I don't like that. We got to watch this Adair character. He gets the ball to Heracles going down the left-hand side. He loses the possession to Hector. Martinez finally gathers it in for Conklin. Vela, let's see what he can do. They are definitely getting back defensively. Conklin, pay attention, buddy. Pay attention. Oh, nice back pass to Martinez off the back of his head. And now here comes the counterattack for Houston. This is not good. It's 2-on-2. Torres, please tackle him. He gets the ball back to Alexander, but their finishing is off. Way off right now. So Houston is definitely counterattacking us, and we're in the control. I don't think that's the right move. So we're going to back off from control. We're going to go standard and see what happens. All right, here's Heracles again. Throw into Torres. Gets it to Alexander. Back to Heracles. He centers it. Oof. Mound just blasts it into the 20th row. That's fine with me. Again, their finishing looks terrible. As long as it's not Torres, I think we'll be okay. What are we looking at here? Is anybody else playing poorly? Harding, not playing that great. So maybe here's what we do. Let me throw something at you. We might bring our other guy in. He's a natural left footer, Scott Wilson. He's also a natural scorer. Advanced forward. That lets us put Vela back in the Trequartista role. Let him play a little bit more natural position. Let's give Wilson a chance to get forward. He's extremely motivated. Let's give him a shot. Our other 19-year-old that we picked up, he played in one game. Played, not so good. Average. But he's got speed and quickness, and he pushes the field. He pushes the ball forward. So if we can just do that here, maybe Roa, send one forward. Martinez, nope. Vela gets tackled. Hendricks is going back to get it. No, Heracles. It just looks like Hendricks. I don't know. It's like that yellow font when he's got the yellow card is no good. Tirpic. I'm not familiar with several of these guys. It's been a while since I looked at Houston, I guess. Here is Minitos down the near sideline. He centers for Torres. Got to close down on him. Gets it wide to Heracles. Sends one in, but Stefan is there for the easy save. All right, 80 minutes down. We got one substitute left. I don't really see many people on the bench that I'm particularly excited to put in there. Yeah, I mean, not really. We don't really want to sub out Vela or Martinez. Here's Roa, free kick. Sends it in. It's headed out by Dawson. Here is Houston now on the counterattack. They send it deep, but Haglund is there. Haglund sends it all the way back to the goalkeeper, Stefan. So we're going to try this again. Let's boot it downfield, and that's what he does. Nobody is there to receive the ball, unfortunately. Minitos, another Mohawk dude. There's a lot of Mohawks in FM18. There's a lot of Mohawk dudes. Here's Heracles, sends it down to Torres. Just as long as it's not Torres getting the ball. Oh, boy. I don't know if Minitos was offside there, and that's why he didn't go for the ball, but that looked a little bit more dangerous than it was. 88 minutes down. Still 1-1 draw. And I do not like what's happening. Wow, that's pretty much the worst finish ever seen in my entire life. I'm going to go a little weird here. Let's go back to the counter and just get stuck in and just blast the ball downfield. There's Hector blasting it downfield. There's Wilson using that acceleration to get past the defense. He gets tackled, though. That's the problem with having great acceleration but not great top speed, is you can get by the defense, but can you stay past them? I don't know. Here's Conklin now. Gets the ball forward to Martinez. Get it out wide to Roa. Oh! Vela got in the way of that pass. That was going out to Roa. Now here's Torres on the counterattack for Houston. Bad pass to Minitas, but he picks it up. Sends it forward to Adair again. Stefan with the amazing stop. He's been so good for us. We would be losing so many games without Stefan. He's just been standing on his head. 89 minutes. 3 minutes of stoppage time added. Let's see if we can do anything. We're on the counterattack. We're just blasting the ball downfield. So I wouldn't be surprised if there were no more highlights from us. But I'm hoping to get one. Just, send somebody downfield. Let's see if Vela can get on the counterattack. Here is Houston. The free kick. Adair. Don't tell me. Okay. All right. I thought that was going to be a penalty kick. Oh, my gosh. Here's Houston again. Tierpick with the ball in the middle. Sends it wide to Dawson. Dawson, a new man in there, a new substitute. Mahatma has it to Tierpick. Are we playing in the Indian League here? Hagelin has to make a defense on the back end there. 30 seconds to go. Looks like we're going to come up with another draw. We've had too many draws this season. Not enough wins. Conklin heads it on. There's Martinez all by himself. Can he get by the defense? That's not really his forte. Loses the ball. He's more of a, get past the defense without the ball kind of guy. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my heart. I almost had a heart attack right there when Stefan knocked that ball out. And, you saw what happened. I can't even describe it. I don't want to describe it. That would have been the absolute worst way to lose a game. But it did not happen, so we'll never talk about it again. Analysis. We looked a little better in the second half. We had, more possession on their side of the field. They were still heavily down this right-hand side. But it was a very even match, except for shots on target. Look at that, Houston. 12 shots, 4 on target. So it was just a shooting gallery out there, and Stefan made some nice stops. Lots of fouls, 12 for us, 14 for them. They had more possession because we were in the counterattack for much of the game, but, just, I don't know what to say about this team. We're not firing on all cylinders. And we got to figure it out. We got to make this run and make the playoffs. So anyway, you were unlucky today, I guess. End the pep talk. Let's get out of here. See what we got going on for the rest of the season. Hector on fire. Yeah, good. I guess we'll praise Hector's performance there. Your defensive work was top notch. All right. Good job. Way to go. Let's take a look at the schedule, see what we got coming up. Okay, so we got 8 games left. Yeah, 8 games left. Couple of teams at the top. Sporting Kansas City, FC Dallas. We got Houston again. Colorado, they're at the bottom of the league. Orlando City, top of the Supporters Shield. Portland is very good. They beat us earlier this season. Atlanta United is pretty good. So we got a real tough schedule going down. The only easy team is Colorado and possibly Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota's 10th, but they're tied with us, so they can't be that good or bad. But yeah, so it's going to be a rough stretch coming down. I hope we don't get fired. If we get fired, that's going to be the end of the save. Not going to do like journeyman or anything like that. I got another save going already, so we don't necessarily need 2. We're just doing the Wings of Glory with LAFC. So we'll play out the string. We'll get to the finals. Not the finals. We'll get to the final game. Hopefully the playoffs will be in reach, and then we'll do some playoffs. But if not, if we get fired or something like that, we'll come back for a final episode. So, Until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.